What is going on, guys? It's Adam, aka Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. If you've never been here before, this is a live call-in show, so anything can happen. The number down below, 224-400-MARF, tonight is going to be reserved for sightings calls. Again, it's Unidentified Fridays, so if you have seen something in the skies that you want to tell others about, this would be the night to call in. Again, just to remind you guys, nothing in the show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect my opinion, Dex's opinion, or anyone else who works with the show. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. With that out of the way, remember, you can actually get, and yes, I just said member. Irregardless, you can go to our website, marfooglenews.com, and you can get our push notifications. So for the people that say, I never get notifications, then you're not signed up with ours, because ours sends you a push notification directly to your phone. You can go to marfooglenews.com. You can also sign up for our email alerts. If anything was to hit the fan, we have over 500 active and retired military in our audience. Again, if any of those folks let us know something pre-hand, we would use that system, not YouTube or anything else, to let you know about it. So make sure to sign up for that. And then, of course, if you want to follow along tonight, you can do so on a second device. You can grab a cell phone and a laptop or whatever combination you want to, and you can actually watch and read along with us on all of these articles. It's very easy to navigate. In fact, you can go there. It's all done by thumbnail. So you'll see unidentified, and then you'll see surprise in the sky. Now, the title might change over on YouTube for any number of reasons, but the thumbnail usually stays the same. So you can pop up here, and you'll see that we have every single article, every single tweet, every single video, viewer-submitted videos, which is tonight. Again, you can go to marfooglenews.com/playmyvideo, and then you can enter your own video as well. If you have something that you've been waiting to show everybody, you can, of course, go to that as well. But this will all have everything there. So you don't have to worry about not knowing where the information is coming from or what source it's from. We put it all there for you to access, so then you actually know, where is this coming from? If we do say something that is not backed up, we make sure to, clarify that and say that this is our opinion, or this is something that we've heard and it's only hearsay. And by we, let me introduce Dex. He is my co-host tonight and my internet brother. What is going on, Dex, and how are you?
Hello, Adam, and hello, Foogle fam. I'm doing good.
So the website, especially tonight, is actually kind of packed full of stuff, because we have videos that we actually have permission to play tonight, and the website looks great. So thank you, Dex. It looks awesome. All right,
brother.
Let's see here. So we're going to get into the news. We're going to cover a bunch of stories, mostly related to space and, of course, sightings and things like this. Over the last week, I have been getting kind of more serious about telling you guys certain things as far as getting prepared and things like this. This is something that all of my colleagues, anybody who is in prepping or in preparedness, these people are all telling you that there are clear signs. Anybody with a channel of any amount of size, they end up attracting military. And then what ends up happening is you hear from all sorts of different sources that something is getting prepared for. We're preparing for something massive. And it's really clear. We've actually shown you enough stories to show you in just plain sight, but hidden, that they are preparing for stuff. China is preparing. Russia's preparing. U.S. is preparing. Australia is preparing. A lot of the stuff that Australia is doing, they talk about openly over there. And it's crazy the kind of drills they're doing. Europe and the Royal Marines are doing these special things. We just talked about last night how they are adding more of these specialized Green Beret groups. There is tons of things going on, and they're building a training space for the most advanced training space ever for cracking hard targets and complex hardened places. So basically, these Green Berets are training to take over, the big boys, not training to take over some third world country, taking over, something that actually has technology, actually has, security, actually has, somewhat of a super secure place. I'm not saying it right, of course, but you guys get what I mean. I will pop over the chat after the first article. I want to thank everybody for being here today. Let me just move this real quick. And then Fidencio Berrigan, thank you for just subscribing. And then Bob McBain, just start off, make sure to press that subscribe button. Even if you are actually thinking that you are already subscribed, make sure to go check and then push all on notifications if you want to see all of our shows. Okay. Let's get straight into it. So first of all, we have now the Geminids meteor shower. As I've been saying, there is one after another now. And it's my opinion that, maybe these have happened for, the entirety of our lives. These have always been around, but somehow we didn't hear about them all the time. In fact, the news used to not cover this so much, but now it seems like almost every week it's, you can see the Leonid or the Geminids or the Asinids, whatever the heck it is, meteor shower, and it seems like there's constantly a meteor shower. Now, my understanding is that most of these you couldn't actually see with your naked eye, that there was a meteor shower going on, but you couldn't actually see it. But now they can take any meteor shower and say, here's a meteor shower, and then when something does come in our atmosphere, my opinion is that could explain it. They're like, it is Geminids. It is Leonids. It is Asinids. It is this and that. Why is there so many asteroids coming into our atmosphere right now? And of course, they're not going to panic you and say, hey, there's 5 times as many this year. It's a weird reporting system as far as the Meteorological Society, and some of the biggest ones are actually kind of volunteer. And I assure you that they get a call every once in a while and say, hey, don't report that one. We know this because when the one hit off of the West Coast, the NSA, CIA, and it was really weird because after this special asteroid or meteor fell to the ground, there was so many different kinds of agencies there. There was CIA, there was NSA, what are you doing looking at that? And then, of course, NASA and all of these other agencies, FBI, were all kind of came down and all surrounded this little town in Washington, and they rented out every hotel room, and they were searching for this meteor that fell in the water a couple years ago. So there's ones like that they want first dibs on and they grab for whatever reason. One theory on that, they said it was super special. Well, how did they know it was super special before it landed? And how did they know right when it landed to go there and to bring all these different people? Kind of weird, right? Was it a spaceship? Was it an alien? One theory is that was done on purpose. Now that sounds crazy, but unless you look at the technology that they're actually advancing right now and the theories, University of Glasgow was actually, doing this study on how they could get asteroids to hit us. That's right, to get them to hit us. And one of the things that they want to do, and this is something that I believe they already have done, maybe they haven't perfected it, but take an asteroid that's big enough, or a meteor that's big enough to actually mine, but small enough to actually not do any damage. So big enough to hit and survive and not burn up, but big enough to actually mine and to keep and to get stuff off of. This is something that they have figured out a way to actually get it and redirect it towards a safe spot on Earth. Now, if that's possible, that could explain why a lot of these things are coming in. Maybe, I don't know. Where are they hitting? Why are they hitting certain spots? Don't know. So if you do want to watch this again from December 4th to December 17th, it is peaking on the 13th and 14th. You can check that out. You know my opinion on this, of course. And then let's get into the chat. Thank you guys. Who's Not Your Daddy? Thank you, Jem, Recalcitrant, everybody that's here. Jody Cattle Dogs, blessings from Eureka MT. We've got Blue Light 84, Look to the Skies. Absolutely. As the great Elon Musk says. No, just kidding. The Muscle Whisperer, One Mommy One, Chewy Weather, thank you for being here. Cooter Disabled Vet. Cooter, that's a name. Scooby Dooby Do Right, thank you for being here. Butterfly Babe. We've got Toe Dab Nasty. Is that right? Toe Dab Nasty One. Well, whatever floats your boat. Purge Time. It's nice to have you back. I saw you followed yesterday, and welcome back. And then we have What the F Wants to Know. Let's see here. Ears Up, Walks a lot of new names. Mandy, 7 Ruby Rose, and old school names. Of course, Scooby-Doo Do-Right is OG, Jaybird's OG, and one of our mods. Badger, Mr. Cornholio. We've got Code Red Devil. We've got all sorts of people here. Now we've got Debpool and Geisy and Hexagonal Peach. Thank you guys all for being here tonight. All right, and then to get into Arecibo. So I showed you yesterday, I believe, the video of Arecibo collapsing and crashing. The main part, not the dish part, but the part above it just came crashing down. And if you haven't seen that yet, of course, in fact, I think I can probably show you real quick. Let's see here. So if you haven't seen that, you should check this out because this video of Arecibo is pretty crazy. Let's see. Arecibo collapsing is giant. You don't get a true scope of it unless you see somebody standing next to it. In fact, this is a great example. Says, very sad to hear Arecibo collapsed the last trip we made before lockdown. This is him standing at the edge, and even this doesn't really put into true perspective of how big this thing truly is. This thing is monumental. You can see it from space. And of course, this can see into space, which has got a lot of people thinking, like, why did this happen? So here's it actually collapsing. And this is after a string of just absolute disasters happening to it. First, a cable fell, or actually, I think first something crashed down or a part of it collapsed. And then a cable fell down. And then this whole thing actually collapsed into it and just smash it. So it's like done. Why though? Why did they not? Were they not taking care of it at all? How did this happen this bad? Like, how after the cable broke, did they not do this, that? They say part of it is because of CV, that they couldn't get out there and fix it or this or that. Now it's a complete waste, I'm sure, of millions and millions of dollars. This thing was extremely expensive to put together. So absolute loss there as far as space exploration in the eyes of that community. But one thing too is what did this thing actually do? So that is one question. It says, why losing Arecibo is a big deal for astronomy. It says, quote, I definitely remember the feeling of just being awestruck. Riviere Valentin said, looking at this gigantic telescope, getting to hear all about the neat work it has been done. It says it definitely leaves an impression. Important science was happening right in the backyard of Riviere Valentin's hometown of Arecibo, Puerto Rico, and someday Riviere Valentin wanted to be a part of it. As an adult, Riviera Valentin returned to the observatory to work as a planetary scientist, using Arecibo to map the shapes and motions of potentially dangerous near-Earth asteroids. Dex, did you know that this was directly responsible for near-Earth asteroids? As far as spotting and looking at and working with?
Well, that doesn't surprise me. I knew it was for something that was really important, and knowing that it was, it kept going down, and piece by piece, it was falling apart. It doesn't surprise me that that's the case, because it just seems like taking away one of our tools that helps us look to the sky when we have all these questions and concerns about what may be coming from the sky. Kind of interesting timing.
And as I've said, I mean, this is just one little tiny piece of the puzzle in my head. I know, the thing is I know something in my mind is coming. It's just a time. They found something, I'm sure of it. Even if they did find something in 250 years that was going to hit Earth, I don't think that they would tell us. I really don't. Because they would look at that decision, they would sit down at a table, and they would say, okay, this is going to wipe all of the Earth out in 250 years. Would they tell the public? Because it's not in any of our lifetimes, so why would we panic? Well, you have to look at that decision as it went down. As it went down and as it proceeds, as it got closer to that, if there was no solution, people would panic, and it would cause it would cause a lot of things if people knew that there was a finite day that the Earth would end. So And if you look, they have all of these things tracked. Well, some people say, oh, we've been here millions of years and it's very rare and this and that. People always kind of have this almost the opposite of a lottery mind state, like, oh, it'll never happen to us. But it doesn't work like that. A big enough one can hit. They're all the time. So I just wonder, as far as this happened, it's just weird. It's like every time it was about to get up and running again, it was torn down or something broke or whatever. It goes back to, of course, the Sunspot Observatory and all the other observatories. I don't know if you remember this, because of the current event happening right now. What was it? Let's see here. I want to see if I can quote this right. Let's see. Telescopes were closed down due to the event. Let's see if we can find this. So let's see what this says. This is the original one. So it says Earth's largest telescopes to close. That was in April. So here's one from October 26. So let's see if there's actually an update. It says Earth's biggest telescopes reopen after months of CV closures. I wonder which ones reopen up, because even when they were fully closed, they said, oh, we're still running, but it's only these certain ones. And then when we looked up the 7 that were still operational, they were all under U.S. control or European, and I believe 1 Russian. It says observational astronomy, largely shut down since March, is getting back to work thanks to slowly declining CV in Chile and new workplace practices. It says more than 6 months of CV-related closures, observational astronomy is largely getting back to work. Many of the world's biggest telescopes have reopened their domes in recent weeks, returning their gazes to the heavens for the first time since the forced a global shutdown of observational astronomy. So one thing, too, a lot of these places have one person that can run the entire thing. Just so you know, a lot of this is computer central, and one person can run a lot of these. So I did not understand why they closed them for CV when you could not only socially distance, but be socially alone. Somebody could stay there and work every day 9 to 5 without running into somebody else. And it didn't make a lot of sense. And, of course, a lot of things didn't make sense, like closing churches but keeping liquor stores open or vice versa. Now, again, you might like the liquor store and all, but I'm just saying it's kind of hypocritical. It says this wave of reopenings was buoyed by declining CV in Chile, especially in the Atacama Desert, a region home to many world-class observatories. It says U.S. officials who manage, look at this, U.S. officials who manage telescopes in Hawaii and Arizona say they're also beginning to resume operations, largely thanks to significant change in their workflows. It says if major observatories continue to come back online and remain open, it will end an unprecedented dark era in astronomy. Okay, do you hear how they just put that? I want you to read this next part. After all, even during WW2, America's observatories kept a close eye on the skies. Does that not make you question something here? Even during a conflict, a world conflict, they kept all of them open. It says if major observatories continue to come back online, if they do, because a lot of them are still closed, and remain open, it will an unprecedented dark era in astronomy. So over this last, from March to here, so 8 months, it has been completely dark in the astronomy world. All of the telescopes looking out were just gone. Nobody was looking in the skies. Remember Elon Musk just a few months ago tweeted, "Look to the skies." I wonder what he meant by that. He is in the know, and he does know a lot. He's filled in because of his contracts. So I just wonder what the hell is really going on. Did something go by that they didn't want us to see or anybody to see? What do you guys think? Virgin Galactic prepares for low-key first space flight from New Mexico. When Virgin Galactic Spaceship 2 takes the skies above New Mexico later this month, it will do so without the crowds and publicity once expected for the historic flight. It says Virgin Galactic announced December 1st that it had rescheduled a powered test flight of its Spaceship 2 suborbital spaceplane for a window that opens December 11th from Spaceport America in New Mexico. Pilots CJ Storkow and David McKay will fly the vehicle on trajectory that will go above the 80-kilometer altitude and the company defines as space. So space, but astronauts would be like, nah, that's like wussy space. And it says that based on the altitude U.S. government agencies use for awarding astronaut wings. Oh, so maybe astronauts would be like, yeah, that's cheap. They shouldn't get it. The vehicle will then glide to a landing at the spaceport. Isn't it crazy we actually have something called a spaceport now? The world is going to be StarCraft. What do you guys think about this? Do you think it's all just for show, that these things are just all the rich elites are making these rocket companies and tricking people into investment dollars or something? I don't know. It's pretty crazy. Dex, I am not able to see the YouTube app for some reason. So if we could do the technical side on that. And then okay. Let me see here. By the way, remember, you can call 224-400-MARF. And if you want to help support the show and protect yourself, we have told you about the threats to our grid. We have shown you that 2 out of over 500 different events that happened to our grid were reported. In fact, they were all reported to the Department of Energy, but that never was, brought out to the public. That was according to the NERC report that we showed you. We've shown you the DHS EMP resilience report that basically says that, in fact, it does say every American should have 6 months to a year of food in case the grid goes completely dark. So, with keeping that in mind, I hope that you guys do have some sort of protection. This is the same protection that Department of Homeland Security, DOD, and now the DEMSO team, officially protecting the Texas grid, is now using, as far as they might use a bigger or cooler device, but you can get the civilian devices for all sorts of things. So your house, your car, your generator, all of these things can be protected, all three phases, E1, E2, and E3, and it can protect against solar flare. I believe this will save lives in the end. Go to marfuglenews.com/EMP, and it could even save dollars on just a lightning strike. What is it? A $1,500 deductible if you have a lightning strike. So this is a whole lot cheaper than just one lightning strike screwing up your house. marfuglenews.com/EMP. Again, check it out. All right, and then let's see. I'm going to open up and see if we have. We do. We have Tracy. Let's get Tracy in. First off, just want to say, Susan Donahue, thank you. Says, buckle up. #Team Humanity. Shifts getting real. That is one heck of a freaky deaky comment there. Rural Juror Red Bluff says, you talk fast, dude. Well, thank you. And then Watch Lady of Christ Cheryl says, Google fam has taught me so much. Long-time listener, 3 years, Godspeed. Thank you. And really, to those who've been abducted or captured videos, I care and thank you for sharing. Well, really, I thank you for letting us know that. All right, we've got Tracy on the phone. Let's see here. It says 3 sightings and an experience. What's going on?
Hi, Marv.
How are you doing, Tracy?
I'm good. How are you? Have you ever heard of Kokomo, Indiana?
I've heard, I believe, a famous song, Kokomo something, but no, I don't think I have.
Probably. Okay. I grew up in Kokomo, Indiana. We actually have it's called Grissom Air Force Base, where one of, like a decoy plane is kept for, the big guy. And that's where all my sightings have ever been. In early 90s, I seen my first one that just happened to be a light just going across the sky that should not have been, there was no way that it could go like that. Well, fast forward to 2000, there's 4 of us in a vehicle. This was the weirdest sighting. We're driving into our neighborhood, and in the trees, it uncloaked. It was the trees, and it it's hard to explain. It looked like the trees, but then again, it didn't, and there was a shiny metal thing, like I was sitting in the tree. And it was my husband and my daughter and my son. My son didn't see it, but all of us, the 3 of us at the same time, were kind of like, what the heck was that, And then it was just gone. Just gone. That was the weirdest one. And then if you would look up, you could look up Kokomo. They had a sonic boom, but we all believe that it was and the MUFON's been there to investigate that it was a crash landing, a UFO crash landing site. I lived probably within 10 miles of where they said this thing had landed, and it shook the house terrible. I've not had any encounters, but I've had 3 incidents in my life, and just the cloaking one is the craziest one.
And
So I just wanted to share.
Well, let me ask you this. Since they do store the presidential decoy of Air Force One, I'm assuming, do you think that this is some sort of military base that's doing, secret stuff? We've got some photos later, by the way, of stuff that doesn't even look like something that should fly. What are these? What shape are they usually?
The first one that I ever seen, it was just a light in the sky, just moving diagonal up and down. This one that was in the trees, it was saucer shape. It was round, kind of saucer shape. I couldn't see all of it because it was almost like the cloaking had messed up for a minute, and it wasn't supposed to be. But yeah, I believe it's tied to, the air base.
Another thing,
our sightings here.
Another thing that people say is well, the folks that think it is not military, but it's around military bases, the reason that a lot of people say that those happen, they actually think that the UFOs are visiting those bases to check on what technology we have. Like they're basically checking on our weapons and all that kind of stuff. I've also heard that a ton, that it's, that you shouldn't take them being by a military base as it's necessarily ours, that it's them visiting and checking up on our military capabilities. I thought, and of course there's plenty of people that say that there's different species, some of them are harmful, some of them aren't. There's of course people that say they're fallen angels and think that if they're by a military base, that's military. So, and of course, totally separate things. So again, it's all up to, this is the kind of thing, doesn't it make you want to kind of put a video camera up permanently and just have it on loop? I mean, that's what I would do.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't live near there anymore, but I still live in Indiana. But I always wanted to, kind of, it was interesting. I always watch the skies. I have some pictures that I could send of different things that I've caught in the sky. And there was something else I'd want to talk about too, but I'd want to talk to you about it in private before you'd put it on. I don't know if there was a way I could contact you about knowing before hand of information.
Yes. So, can we call you?
I've sent you an email before, actually.
Can I call you right after the show?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay. Well, we'll just do that right tonight. I won't have much time because it's going to be late, but I can do that. Is there anything else that you would like to say other than that?
You just keep doing what you're doing, Marv. You totally switched my brain about 2 years ago when you first kind of started. I'm trying to flip my family they just don't want to listen, and I just listen to you, and I'm prepping for all of us. So God bless your work.
Well, God bless you as well, and thank you for sharing your experiences. Of course, there's all sorts of things going on right now, so I think it's great that we have these Fridays to talk about this kind of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on in the sky, and everybody's embarrassed to talk about it, but I think it's something that we should be talking about, and it relates to everything. So thank you so much, Tracy.
Yeah, I was excited.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you, and it's your first time call. Don't make it your last.
Yep, I won't.
All right, I'll talk to you after the show. And then Dex, if you could put aside her info so I can do that, and then... let's see here. After 6 years and $6 billion, I just see $6 billion and think dollars with Mr. Evil. After 6 years and 6 billion kilometers, Japan's Hayabusa 2 prepares to bring home cargo of asteroid dust. This is one of the missions that I was talking about, that all of a sudden they were doing all these missions with asteroids. Why? Well, some say that it's for money, that they're trying to mine gold or something like this. And I see a lot of videos by suspicious kind of sources getting put up like, oh, it's because, it's a $6 million gold asteroid and this and that. I don't think in the future that we have that some things will even be worth anything. I don't think there's going to be currency, not in the near future, but in our future, I don't think that there's going to be the same kind of currencies that we have. Not even gold. But, there's, of course, a lot of people that disagree with that. So, very, very crazy stuff. Just real quick, just to say, Watch Lady Christ Cheryl, thank you again for your support. And then, of course, Susan, thank you again. And then we have, of course, people over on D-Live talking about the caller. Thank you guys for saying thank you to the caller. If you are new here, we try to treat every caller with respect and be incredibly nice and make sure that we tell them amazing, amazing job. I believe we are coming to a lockdown very soon, says Vault 1111. There is going to be something worse than a lockdown, I believe, in the next 3 months. But Tattoo Mike, make sure to sign up for our alerts. Tattoo Mike, Dominion machine in Georgia, audited today, found that there were some flipped. Yes, again, they are waiting to delete people. One thing that I would highly suggest is we're going to create a page and give you all of the access to all sorts of information. We will be pushing that every night. Coming up soon here. So I'm going to show you guys a lot of crazy stuff, including videos that you would not believe. Rocky Amherst, thank you for the ice cream. Ears up, thank you. We've got how many Foogle fam have seen cartwheeling, says Memory Trigger. I have never seen that. Co-Mom says thank you for keeping us informed. Let's see here. Zippy Moons, thank you for the Ninja Guinea. Appreciate that. Nice to see you here tonight. And then Vault 111, Code Red Do Girl, Grizz 11. Thank you for being here. Sailing Dogs, all sorts of folks in the audience here. All right, so Hayabusa, I've talked to you guys about Hayabusa, OSIRIS-REx, all sorts of the different missions that are going out and getting these asteroids, smashing them up, impacting them. What do you guys think that that's for? Why do you think Hayabusa smacked it and tried to gather dust and do all this stuff? They're trying to figure out how to destroy asteroids, or if there's something that can dissolve them or something that can slow them down. I think that there are certain things going on with that particular mission, Hayabusa, where they are trying out different things for asteroid deflection. And I believe they even somebody said that there was basically a rocket, a separate rocket that was specifically for placing onto something. And it wasn't really talked about in any of the news, but it was something that one of the employees said, like, why are we including this as something that would be put on something? So it made me think, are they trying to put a rocket on the side of an asteroid to get it to move? Why wouldn't they put it in the official stuff? Why wouldn't they just tell you if they were doing that? Again, that's something that was kind of hearsay. So I just wonder if that is true. And it's something that's hearsay, but it doesn't even sound like a conspiracy. Like, it doesn't even sound like something they should lie about. It sounds like something that you would just assume they would tell you. That's what I thought was pretty weird about it. 6 years and 3 days after its groundbreaking mission began, the Japanese spacecraft will drop a capsule into the Australian outback carrying pristine asteroid fragments that scientists believe could shed light on the formation of the solar system and the origins of life. Too much? Probably. By the time it reaches the sky high over Woomera, South Australia, it says, in the early hours of Sunday, the probe will have completed a round trip of about 6 billion kilometers or 3.7 billion miles. That included 2 brief stops on the surface of a moving asteroid, or supposedly. The unmanned craft will release a capsule from the height of about 136,000 miles above the Earth, the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, JAXA, said. JAXA. Why is everybody, including all of the major companies or countries, going to the moon, going to Mars? Why are they all doing these things? It's just weird. Leaked photo surfaces of purported unidentified aerial phenomena. It says the debrief has learned about the leak of an unclassified photo said to have been widely distributed in the intelligence community, which purportedly shows that the DoD has characterized as unidentified aerial phenomena. We're going to show you this picture. Is of course getting passed around a lot right now. It says on Wednesday the debrief reported on 2 classified intelligence reports issued by the Pentagon's Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force. Of course, that task force, which was when it was formed, we told you there's something up here. And it's just weird that this was always kept so secret, and then now there's publicly something going after UFOs. For some of you, you believe that they purposely did that to kind of let us know, oh, there's going to be this false invasion of sorts. But again, it's all up to the individual, what you guys think. Now, this is part of the photo. So this is zoomed out. I'm going to go full screen so you can see exactly what we're talking about. It doesn't look like much here, but wait until we zoom in. So this is obviously from some sort of faster jet, judging by the cockpit, F-16 or something. I'm not a jet expert. Somebody will be like, well, look, it has an angulator right there. Of course, it's an F-18 42567B. I flew 50 of them when I was in kindergarten. Okay, got it. But anyways, you guys get the point, and this thing is way up there. This is at a very high altitude. You can tell by the clouds. What the hell is it? So, first off, let's zoom in as much as we can here. See if we can. Let's see. Bam, bam, bam. And then I have even another photo that's even more zoomed in. So it almost looks like an upside down like cup hat or something. So check this out. What in the world is that? Might need to even zoom out so you can see a little more of the details. What in the hell? It looks like a Star Trek badge, does it not? And it's a triangle, but is it going down or is it flying? Is it flying kind of frontwards like that? It's not like a Tic Tac. It's more, and it has these like angles. If you look right here, right, there's the corner, this far corner close to me up at the top, and then it kind of looks like it has like this jagged edge. Maybe this was the jagged little pill Alanis Morissette was talking about. Or not? What do you think it is? Have you seen anything like this? take a picture or take a video and send it to us. Again, you can submit your own videos or your own photos to marfooglenews.com/playmyvideo. Again, that's marfooglenews.com/playmyvideo. And if you want to support the show in a different way, right now you're probably at home or working from home or a combination of the two. You should have a virtual private network. In fact, this is one of the easiest. You even have an auto mode where you just download it, you press on or off. You can flip a toggle switch even. And when it's on, it will put you somewhere else in the world, or it will make your IP, your hardline address, look like it's somewhere else. Again, this is something that all professionals have. Anybody that's on their computer a lot should have. This is something that is going to make it a little bit safer, again, in this world of hackers and identity theft. Again, you can go to marfooglenews.com/VPN. Remember, this can actually be used on 6 simultaneous devices, so you can use it on your computer, your kid's cell phone, your cell phone. If you're using public Wi-Fi, it is a must. Do not let your identity or anything else get stolen. That's marfooglenews.com/VPN. All right, and then Dex, let's get in the next caller. And of course, it looks like we have we might have a line open. No, we don't. Look at this. This is insane. So many callers tonight. This shows why we do this show. It looks like we have Sly Netserum. Sly Netserum? Is that how you say it? First time caller out of Colorado. Hey, Sly, how are you doing?
Doing well.
And guys, let me know if he's too loud or too quiet. I can, of course, fix it. I think you're good. I think you were a little bit loud even. Sly, so you saw something tonight, is that right?
Yes. Matter of fact, it was a line of unidentified flying whatever heading from west to east. So it kind of reminded me of some of those, well, that they say it could be that internet that's in the sky that
Starlink. Thank you, Dex.
Yes, but I'm not sure, because it was, as it was heading from west to east, it hit a point in the sky and they just disappeared. And I tried to get pictures, but unfortunately my camera, I wasn't able to do it with my camera.
Well, let me ask you this. Was it multiple, or was it just one, or did it go from one?
It was multiple. It was multiple. It reminded me of a convoy, but in the sky. You know how the M's travel on the ground, on the highway, going wherever, and they travel in a straight line? It reminded me of that.
Okay, so you have seen the pictures of Starlink in the sky, as far as because that is exactly what people first said was the Starlink, and you said that. You said this. People are saying it's Starlink. Just to show on the screen, I don't know if you have access to the screen, but I'm showing at least one example of Starlink, videotaped from the ground. And people, they suggest that this is it. But I mean, honestly, what if Starlink wasn't Starlink? Even if it is Starlink, how do they have this many in a row like this?
Exactly.
If they plan to have this all around
the
Earth.
This is my second time seeing it.
Well, so did you know that they plan on having this be a complete and utter grid around our planet? So imagine if you saw just a permanent grid, like a net around our planet. I don't think it's for internet even. And of course, I've said what I think it is, but
exactly. I mean, like I said, this is my second time seeing this phenomenon, and it's the weirdest thing to see. Well,
and if I saw this in the sky up in space, I would trip out too. I want to see it in person because I just don't. There's something odd about it. I just think it's weird. As far as the Starlink stuff goes, most likely, obviously, everybody's going to say it was probably Starlink, but I just still have a weird feeling about Starlink and what they're doing with it. And remember, when Elon Musk, before he got these private contracts, he was publicly talking about asteroid defense. Now he officially said, and the company said just a few months ago, or maybe even a month ago, that part of Starlink is going to be used to detect incoming objects, including and not excluding hypersonic missiles. So that is part of it. There's certain Starlink part of it, certain satellites of Starlink that are completely dedicated to sensing incredibly fast objects, including these hypersonic missiles. What if they're also trying to catch these tic-tac objects? It makes sense. Now they have the Air Force. Now they have the task force and all these others. Maybe they said we need to catch these things. I don't know. It seems to me like there's all sorts of things going on behind the scenes.
Most definitely, and I'm used to seeing military stuff. I live in Sea Springs, Colorado, so it's a norm for me to see military flights and whatnot around here. So this, and I still remember the first time seeing this. The first time when they were passing, they were actually going from west to east again. And there was a few that were slower than the rest. It looked like they were trying to catch up to the rest of the group because they were going slow, then they started moving faster. And that's what made me think it wasn't Starlink.
See, that's what weirds me out about that. Like, they shouldn't have variable speeds. Personally, I think something is a little bit off about these. Then now there's videos and all sorts of things surfacing, and it doesn't even, none of it makes sense. And this one's not even a perfect line, which I thought that they were somehow, I don't know. Well, thank you for your call and thank you for your sighting. I would say get a camera up there and get something like a security camera or something permanently just pointed up. I think if we all did that, imagine the experiment. If everybody watching right now, at least the 2,000 in chat or however many are out there, imagine if we all put our cameras up in the sky for one night. I think it'd be kind of a cool thing. What would we catch, and you could even map out if something went from here to over there. I think it'd be kind of a trip. Maybe we'll organize something like that. Well, thank you for calling tonight. Is there one more thing you want to say before you go? Sly Natsarim? Did I say it right?
Sly Natsarim.
Sly Natsarim.
Thank you for doing what you do. You guys do a good job of doing news that is not typical, and as well as catching some of the typical stuff and putting a different slant on it.
Well, thank you for watching, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Again, each time that number goes up by one, and that's a human being, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Not saying I'm not a human being. I'm just saying I'm just going to cut to thumbnail. Anyways.
Good night.
Have a good night. All right, let's actually get one more on. By the way, thank you, and thank you. JT Pencil, appreciate that so much. Dab36, we've got Vault 1111 coming in just all over the place. Priscilla R, thank you, and more thank yous for the Ninja Genie, the second highest compliment on DLive. And then, of course, Zippy Moons with the second highest compliment on DLive, another Ninja Genie. Thank you so much. It looks like Penny Hutchins is here tonight. Thank you so much for your support. KC57, Opine, thank you. And it's I wish it was showing me all. There's a few new people here tonight, so thank you for being here, all the new subscribers. If you see a new name that you have not seen before, to all my regulars and OGs, make sure to welcome them and ask them how their day's going, and make sure they feel welcome here, because even if they're a troll at first, remember, some of our OGs that have been here for 3 years started out as trolls. Like, there's quite a bit, actually. I'm not going to name them by names, but there are some people that actually hated me, and I don't blame you if you hate me. Sometimes you just don't like people for what they look like. You get a bad impression, just don't like them. Or you don't like me because I'm not good enough. I don't know. But that can change, and that's what I've learned with all sorts of people. Also, kick the cat. If you guys have never heard of that, Zig Ziglar told a great story about kicking the cat. Basically, most people that you meet, if they're being rude to you or being an ass, that doesn't mean they're permanently that way. They might have had somebody be an ass to them, and then they are passing it down. It's a great story. I'm going to actually try to refresh on that, because last time I told it was pretty bad. But basically, it comes down this whole chain of people, and then the kid comes home, and he has nobody to yell at, so he just kicks the cat, and the cat didn't do nothing. So I definitely think that it's a great thing to have. This is a positive community, and every YouTube community says that they're the happiest or most positive. But I think people in this community actually care about each other, and we've actually had a ton of people become real life friends. In fact, one of our members died last year, and the only people at his funeral were Foogle fam. He had no family. He passed away. You guys probably heard about that. But this is an amazing thing. So if you do feel like you're called crazy by your friends and family, this is the place to be. Whether you're left or right or whatever direction you are, we have to overpass these kind of triggers of getting insulted or triggered by others. And then we have to step back and go, okay, if this is triggering me and I want to argue, then we might want to move on to a different subject and find our common ground. So about every week I try to remind you guys that this is a place where, we can all say what we think without having the thought police, get on our case. Crazy Mama, thank you. Jay Dalix, thank you. It says, Marf, I saw it too. It was 14 of them. I counted them. It was huge, looks exactly like Starlink. Jay Dalix, are you FBI? Are you trying to implant yourself there to make us think it was Starlink? No, it probably was Starlink. And I think, I don't know though, because I haven't seen Starlink. And what he said about the one speeding up, that's weird. Sea Star Goddess, it looks like it has a face on the triangle one. Oh, weird. Sea Star, I didn't think about that, but let me go back to it. Let's see here. I wonder if this is the one. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of, what do you call it? The Rock in Neverending Story. Don't know. All right. And then let's see here. Daniel Rodriguez, thank you so much for your generous support of the show. Appreciate that. Looks like a super sticker. You can always write something as well. You can always do a message. Marf couldn't call in, but something just like the Starlink satellite train just flew over my house in Colorado. My neighbors and family came out to see it. So you're in Colorado as well. That's where the caller was from. So it most likely was. 2 old people on a couch. You don't have to do that. That is awesome. $25 super chat. Jupiter and Saturn coming together for the first time in 800 years. Times are getting biblical. We have a channel which we got our first video taken down on Thanksgiving week, but we keep going. 2 old people on a couch. They are awesome. They have done several really great videos. And if you haven't seen their channel, we will actually... Dex, can we actually attach that to the website? They're great. They have actually done a lot of informational stuff. So, and they've called in. They are thoroughly Foogle fam. So, all right, let's see here. Getting back into it. Let's see here. Wait a second. Nope, that isn't it. And then Dex, I think the first video went into autoplay. The one before, Mystery Phenomena in Tonopah. So I'm going to play the Mystery Phenomena in Tonopah. And of course, I'm not going to play the sound because apparently it's something that we should not be playing. And Dex, you can chime in on the Tonopah video if you would like. Whoa!
Adam, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I was going to say, if the video's not there, they're on the website. You can pull them up there.
So, what do you think about this Tonopah video? I'm sure somebody... Whoa.
Yeah, that's that. I think you mentioned something about being near a nuclear facility, but that is a strange... It's a recording from a security camera, but he's recording it from the phone on the picture of the security camera, but that pulsation that's in there is kind of interesting.
No, that's weird. And it's not like it... I don't think it could be... frames per second, or like when you do slow-mo, sometimes the lights will flicker, or when you videotape a screen. This doesn't look like that. That is on the screen, that is on the camera, and that is picking up, and you can almost see a flash from above. So I just wondered, so this is apparently, you said, by a nuclear plant? Is that right, Tonopah?
Yeah, I believe that's what he said. About 60 miles, maybe.
Huh. What do you guys think this is? And have you seen anything like it? Very, very, very strange, if you ask me. And then, who was this sent in? Was this sent in by one of our viewers, or is this the Seventh Direction? And Dex is probably dealing with the phones. That's okay.
Hey, Adam. Yeah. I can't see what's on your screen, but yes, I believe the channel name should be there for the video.
Okay. Just want to make sure. How many of these were sent in
everybody's
by...
channel name is who they sent it in.
Okay. So the Seventh Direction sent this in. It says the phenomenon was captured by my security camera November 24th, 2020. It is not visible... or it was not visible without the camera. The camera faces west. The camera was located about 6 miles east of Palo Verde nuclear generating station. Whatever it was there all day. What in the hell? Look at that. It's not... Oh my gosh. It's like it's hovering there. And how many have we've been talking about this, how they've been visiting nuclear sites. The nuclear ships, the nuclear everything. What if that is a cloaked ship? And again, he says you can't see it. That is such a trip. So this was sent in by the Seventh Direction. Again, that's a trip now that, because it keeps going away and then it's pulsating. The longer you keep it on, it's like it went down to nothing. When you started out, it's like it was coming into the dimension or something. It's not there. And then you just all of a sudden see like little blips, like it's coming into the dimension or something. Like a, what do you call it? Transporter. And then when you go further in, it stays and then it pulsates and it's there. I mean, is that not creepy or what? What if you were looking at that on your security camera? Does anybody have an explanation for that? I can't think of one as far as cameras go or lenses go, or look at it. It gets bigger and it pulsates. Man, that video should be. Seventh Direction. You should send that into one of these video playing services. This is crazy. All right, let me go over to here. Let's see. I'm gonna actually go to our website. This is the coolest part. Our website is easier than half of these things here. Okay, so sky phenomena over Arizona. I'm going to play this real quick. This is going to be easy. This is all available on our website, too, if you want to investigate by yourself. It says, early on the morning of November 22nd, 2020, this was the sky in dawn's early light. Wow, that is a trip. And Dex, we can line up our next caller. This again, I will actually, I'll pull up who sent this in. Very weird cloud structures. This was sent in by, we can love mob, Betty DeMyers. Again, that's Betty DeMyers. Looks like she's already established on YouTube, does stitch work and sky phenomenons. I love it. I love meeting new people. Betty, it's nice to meet you. That again was Betty DeMyers. You guys can find her link and that video on our website. Okay, up next we have Jennifer, another first-time caller. This is awesome. Getting, I think, 3 first-time callers out of 4 tonight. So, yeah, Sly, Net Serum, Tracy, everybody. Looks like you were unplugged there for a second. Jennifer, you are live on Marfoogle News. What is going on?
Hi, I live in Massachusetts, and I had something really weird happen to me about 2 Thursdays ago. It was the night that Charlie Baker and the lady from Rhode Island put the curfews on.
Oh, yes.
So I was driving home, I bartend, and I was going south towards Cape Cod, and off to the left of me, really high in the air, there was this green light that was blinking with like a bright white light, looked like a spotlight. And it was pretty far away, probably like 15 miles and really high up. And it passed me and I did a huge square and came back up the highway as I was driving, and it got low enough so I can see it, and it put its spotlight on my car as it drove over. And I could see it, and it looked like a military drone or something like that. I was like, maybe the police got new drones, but it creeped me out. Like, I've never been so creeped out in my life.
Well, okay. So, and I'm sorry, what state was this in again? This was in
Massachusetts, going towards the Cape on 495.
Okay, I'm just going to look up something real quick, because they are putting these police and border patrol drones in. If you were closer to the border, we've had people call in from Texas, had a similar experience, but those were legit drones. The one woman who called in about 6 months ago that was followed. But how big was it, do you think? Do you know, or how big was the light?
I would say it was the size of about as long as a tractor trailer. It looked like a something that could actually hold artillery, you know what I mean, like guns or whatever. It was crazy big. it wasn't like a little one. You know what I mean? I looked up like what a police drone would look like. It looked more like a military drone, and it was white and smooth looking, and the spotlight was what creeped me out. It was right on my car. I was the only car on the road. It literally went up the highway to put its light on my car, and then went over me, and I never saw it again.
Well, what's weird is it says that in fact, the first thing that popped up, it says Massachusetts is not using drones for any pandemic-related purposes. According to the State Department of Transportation, if there is a need, the agency will work with federal aviation. But that's saying that they're not using it for the purposes of this. It does say, okay, so it says, according to the Atlas of Surveillance, a full list of Massachusetts agency that operate drones includes Minneapolis. So they are doing police drones in Massachusetts. So that's, I just wonder.
It was such a big, it was just such a big drone. It didn't look like anything. It looked like it had to, it didn't look like anything a police would have, but maybe, I don't know. But I've never been so creeped out in my life. I was shaking.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Because it was so close to me. I even moved the lane and to like try to get away from it because I was like, wow, it's headed right to me. You know what I mean? And then it put its spotlight directly on me and then went right over me.
Now, can I ask?
And it was just a green blinking light and a spotlight.
Let me ask you this. Did you see rotors or did you hear anything?
No, I didn't hear anything. And it was like probably about above a bridge, I would say it was probably about a 5-story building higher than that. You know what I mean? I was going underneath the underpass as it was like, you know what I mean? That's kind of like where we like connected. I don't want to say it, but it was like it was close enough where I would have been able to hear it if it was an airplane or a helicopter, but it was quiet. And I was creeped out, because of the spotlight. So,
And let me ask you one more question. Was there one light or two lights?
There was two lights, the spotlight and the green blinking light, and that's it. And it was white. The color of it was white of the drone. And it was long and like, I don't want to say like an oval, like rectangle-ish looking. It wasn't like a square. Like I was looking up drones to try to like see if it was a drone like online, and all the drones I saw that were police drones were like square drones and smaller. This one they looked like it, I don't know. It just looked like something I've never seen in my area before. I live probably 40 minutes from Boston, and like I was driving probably like a half hour from Cape Cod.
Well, so what this does is, I don't have an answer for you, but what is awesome is we have so many people watching that somebody from there might have video of it or might have seen it or might be able to back up your story and not only corroborate it, but have video or some sort of security footage of what's going on. We've gotten a lot of information after people call in about certain events, and it's just amazing. So, well, thank you for your sighting. I do think that a lot more people are going to see these drones and even spotlighted drones in the future. I mean, we're talking in the next year, we're going to see more police and more military use these drones to surveil us. And I'm talking like, low, watching us with cameras. That green light may mean it's recording.
Yeah, well, you know what? Maybe it literally targeted me. That's what creeped me out the most. It did a square like from far away and once directly up the highway and there's nobody else on the road because of the lot of the shutdown. Massachusetts is pretty like, and it's Massachusetts. I don't need to say anymore. They have us on tight lockdown, of course. But
well,
I don't know why they did it, and I just was creeped out, and I wanted to tell somebody, and I listened to your show. Your show's awesome, and I appreciate you guys.
No, well, thank you so much. Again, I just looked up something because locally here in Seattle, police cars now have these bright green lights. They're LEDs. They're not regular police lights. They're these glowing lights, and basically they're always on. And I was thinking, like, that's not for visibility. What it means is the cars are actually recording. So
yeah,
that these cars are actually recording when they have those lights on. So I just thought it's
Yeah.
weird.
Oh,
So, well, thank you so much for the sighting, and I appreciate you, and thanks. It's your first time call. Please do not make it your last, okay?
all right. Thank you so much.
All right, have a blessed night. Gosh, that would be creepy. Would you be creeped out if a drone, not only, or whatever it was, not only had a spotlight, but then targeted you and went right above you? By the size, she said it had to have been a professional drone or a commercial drone that, maybe was doing a video for something, and the guys were screwing with her. I don't know. That's creepy. I would really be creeped out. And I believe her, because there's enough people doing commercial drones and things like this. I've never done that. I wouldn't fly over people. It's actually against the law to do that. My Mavic 2 has a very bright spotlight, but you can't turn it on when you're above 10 feet. I mean, you could strap on a separate light and run that, but Kelly2334, thank you so much for the diamond, and it's so nice to see you here tonight. You are awesome for supporting. Thank you. Priscilla R, thank you for your continued support tonight. And then, let's see here. Bobby D, thank you. South Cowgirl 504, thank you so much. Again, welcome Fidencio Berrigan and Bob McBain. Bob McBain, that sounds like a villain name in a good way. WMS Ween, thank you for being here. Unicorn Forest has been gifting out subs or Marfia badges all over the place on DLive. Thank you so much for that. That is awesome. Unicorn Forest is like winning the sub count win of the day. Nick Manis G Team, thank you for being here. And then to all the new followers, it looks like we've got a bunch over on DLive. Looks like we surpassed 30,000 on DLive, which is amazing. Absolutely crazy. Less than a year, and we're up to 30,000 over there. Great, awesome time over there. All right, let's see here. Dex, let's get our next caller on. It looks like we have Wolfie. Is that right? Wolf. Strange experience, possible abduction, and he has got a channel here. So, Wolf, you are going to be live.
Hey, Adam, Dex, and Frugal Fam. How is it? Am I going through all right?
Yeah, you're great. You're clear. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, better now that I'm listening to the show. You kind of have a knack for giving us the hard news, but then putting a spin on it. Between the jokes and the little things, you kind of cheer us all up and keep us going. I like what you said a minute ago about the cat thing. We kind of have to break the cycle of all the sorrow. Because it could just be that, like you said, somebody had a bad day, or maybe they had the worst day ever, and it's going to take them a minute to get out of it, kind of thing. And maybe just that little bit of being, thoughtful is going to bring them out of that cycle and kind of tip the scales and kind of do the opposite and create a good cycle.
Well, just so you know, okay, so I think every single person here can say they have been unnecessarily rude to somebody and then realized it right afterwards, especially if it's been anybody, just a server or somebody at a restaurant. Maybe they said something that just hit you wrong and then you were rude. Anybody and everybody has done that where they unnecessarily were rude and right after felt like it, like, why did I say it like that? God, why am I being a jerk? But that, again, that's something that if you make somebody laugh immediately, that could drop the defenses. That could bring them back to, being able to hear. That's why nobody is having political arguments that work, because people and cognitive dissonance on both sides won't let them get past their kind of anger, and they just raise their voice. But if you crack a joke and then bring somebody's defenses down, that's when you can start getting through to people. And that's why I say, if somebody's going to come in and troll, if they don't like me or they don't like me for a good reason, whatever it is, treat them with respect. It looks like you have almost 400 subscribers here. Is this your channel, The High Strangeness?
Yeah, indeed. I actually have to give a shout out to the Foogle fam. You know, it's mostly you guys and the interest from calling in before, and you just got a really positive, good vibes community. And you know, amen, brother. That's a really impressive thing these days with all the negativity and weirdness out there, especially with all this stuff going on. It's just nice to have some good vibes, you know.
Well, and by the way, I'm pulling up this second video here. It looks like you have a bunch of orbs, white orbs in your backyard. Is this the one? We didn't look at this, did we?
Yeah. I believe it was on before, momentarily there, briefly, and it wasn't really quite as topical of a show, so maybe it didn't really fit in quite as much. But no, I still had a bunch of helpful clicks and follows from the Foogle fam, so that was really cool. I appreciate that. But it kind of ties into what I was going to talk about, perfect for this show tonight, which great show, every night, but tonight's pretty good too. A lot of new first time callers, and, the Foogle fam just keeps growing. It's pretty cool. But, yeah, I've lived in Washington my whole life, man. This is weird. I've never really told too much of the beginning of this story. I told people about the thing I saw on your show here where I showed you the video, but, I haven't really spoken about what happened to me back in the 90s when I lived in Eastern Washington. And, man, it relates to these orbs because I think that whatever this is, whether it's aliens or, some people say like fallen angels, Nephilim kind of stuff, or maybe even, the ones that came before, what do they call it? Instead of extraterrestrial, it's intraterrestrial, and maybe like, some Atlantis type stuff. But whatever it is, I had some sort of encounter, 23 years before, and I always chalked it up at the time to a dream until some stuff happened afterwards. But what happened was that I, started up awake in the middle of the night, and there was this just piercing tone, this loud, almost kind of like an air raid siren, but instead of being like, and up and down, it was just like, it's this horrible, like worse than a fire alarm kind of thing. So naturally I just woke up, whoa, I thought that there was a fire or just something terrible. So naturally I ran around room to room trying to wake everybody up, and nobody was waking up. And that was pretty spooky. They were like frozen. I don't know how else to really describe it, but they obviously weren't hearing anything. They weren't moving at all. They weren't responsive. And so I just panicked and kept going from room to room. But there was this kind of like, almost like what you were talking about just a minute ago with the things, the lasers they have, the LED lights they have mounted on now. It was kind of like a green laser light, but instead of being just pinpoints of light, it was just everywhere. It was like coming through the blinds and lighting up the whole place from outside. And I thought at that point, okay, this isn't a fire. I thought, as a 10-year-old with little frame of reference outside of sci-fi and stuff, I thought, oh boy, I'm about to get took. This is going to be some abduction stuff. And that's where it ends, as I kind of sensed something coming. Nobody was waking up, and the end of what I thought was a dream. Well, it turned out that not too long after, man, this is weird. I haven't talked about this too much before. I was afraid the government was coming after me or something, looking for me like X-Files or Stranger Things. But yeah, it's kind of exactly what happened, sort of, because my mom noticed my arm, my right arm, the elbow, the bones were weird, and I've never broken a bone in my body to the day, and she was concerned, and well, she knew that I ran around at night there in the desert because we were on the edge of town. We had this graveyard, and she thought I had been playing around there like I did, and thought that I'd kept it secret that I'd broken my arm. I didn't want to get in trouble or something. But man, it's such a weird story too. It's hard to keep it all in order because it's the craziest stuff. But
that's okay.
I was running through the graveyard. Oh, confession, but Mom was right, more or less. I didn't break my arm though. What I had seen before this what I thought was a dream was, the funeral home kind of stuff. Not every graveyard has one, but the big building at the end, I was running around there and I saw a bunch of people and I thought, oh, I'm going to get in trouble. So I just got down real low and I grew up on the Metal Gear games and stuff like that. So, okay, I'm going to do some reconnaissance here, see what these guys are doing and just stay safe and see what's up. And they were all wearing like black robes, like some ritual, and they were all walking in single file. And it was this whole weird thing. And I had no idea what I was accidentally seeing, but I knew it was something weird. And like I said, within a few days there, having that dream kind of connected, what I thought was a dream. I didn't connect those dots at the time because I hadn't done some of the research that I ended up doing because of what followed. So she thought I'd broken my arm and took me into the doctor. And of course, upon examination, that wasn't the case. And, oh man, I'm trying to wrap it up here. I don't want to go on too long. I know we've got to get all the other callers in for a great show tonight. But he kind of was like, this is not a broken bone. This is above my pay grade. So they sent me down to the professionals there at Seattle Children's Hospital, and had me stripped down to my underwear, and they're doing the measurements and checking the bone, and they didn't even give me a chance to get dressed. And all of a sudden, all these people start coming in. Oh, look at this, John. Well, James, hey, check this out. Oh, and it was a really weird experience. I felt like the Elephant Man, or like I was like a one-man zoo or something. And it turned out that I had this one of a kind, like only once ever recorded bone anomaly thing that just strangely cropped up within the week of me having this dream and seeing these guys out in the graveyard. So, lo and behold, 23 years later, the stuff is in the sky, literally in my backyard, and it just like Independence Day or something. They're back. I don't know what it is, but
so you're
in a weird twist.
So
go ahead.
Again, did it pop out of your arm? Was it something that protruded? Is that why they knew, or is that why they thought to look?
Yeah, I mean it's still like I should probably just do a brief video showing it. But it's kind of like the end of the forearm bone, kind of like it looks broken to the day, and I have like limited use, but I still can use my arm. So like I have like I'd say half range of motion. I can't really turn my palm all the way flat with my right hand, which is like weird because I'm right-handed, so it's kind of inconvenient. But it was a pretty weird experience with the doctors, and when you're 10 years old, you just kind of want to get out of there and not be put on display. But it really stuck with me years later, just the way the whole thing was all connected, and I just kind of didn't want to let it bug me or lose sleep over it and just grow up like a normal kid in America and kind of put it on the shelf. But it always kind of got me really into like the X-Files and the suppressed stuff that we're not told about, whether it's even just military tech that's 25 years ahead, industrial complex stuff or whatever. But so yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, and so this wasn't there the week before, or was it visibly different just overnight, or?
More or less, yeah. I didn't even really necessarily notice anything right away until my mother did, and that just kind of freaked me out. It'd be kind of like they say when you have a stroke that you don't necessarily see it or feel it, and somebody has to see your face, kind of thing, like drooping. And unless you see it in the mirror, then you wouldn't even know. It was almost kind of like that, where I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then they pointed out, I was like, "Oh my god!" so yeah, that freaked me out pretty good. But yeah, it's definitely some weird stuff because as it got me going down that rabbit hole, my whole life being more than just a passing interest, but kind of a personal involvement, close to kind of the third kind of thing. Yeah, it's definitely some weird stuff with. I think you covered Project Paperclip before with the Germans and Werner von Braun and all that. How after the Second World conflict, we just kind of hired him over, and because we needed the science, it was just sort of all sin forgiven kind of weird deal.
And he's connected. He was connected to Disney. They had the Nazi
Absolutely.
scientist on Disney videos. Like there's all sorts of weird connections there. Paperclip, all these weird projects. Well, so we are out of time, Wolf. But one thing that I want to say is that there's a lot of people that are just like you that are afraid to talk about their stories. In fact, the other night, the woman who called in, she said, I've never told anybody this. And about 5 months ago, we had that caller. It's something that, somebody from outside would go, oh, you didn't get abducted. You're just trying to say this. Most people that do have an abduction experience never tell anyone because they're afraid of being looked at like they're crazy. Most people logically don't want to talk about stuff like that because it's embarrassing or it's scary or it makes them look like they're crazy. So just know that there's a lot of people out there we get emails all the time. We started this show because we were talking like 2-3 weeks, or it was 4 weeks ago or something, that we get so many abducted emails of people saying that they've had an experience or that they've had chips or electronics placed in their body. I mean, like, we get those things all the time. That's unbelievable. Like, there's something there if there's that many people with that many experiences. So whatever it may be.
For sure. Well, I hope that you keep on growing like you have been and expanding, and I look forward to seeing what you guys do after they took down the Discord. You guys had a real good thing going there, and I'm pretty faithful that you guys are gonna get something real good, even better than it was. Like the $1 Million Man, it's gonna be stronger than it was.
We'll have it, Wolf. Wolf, you should take a picture and send it to my Twitter, and I'll post it. Just take a picture of your arm or something, if you're comfortable with that. But I'm sure people are curious.
I opened up, might as well.
I bet you there's a lot of people that are curious. I'm sure it's not horrible or anything. But thank you. And Wolf, it changed you for the rest of your life. So I'm sure that's a big deal. So, well, thank you. And Wolf, thank you for coming out and saying that. And thank you for telling us your story. And you have a great night, okay?
You too, man. I appreciate everything you do for the community, man.
All right, you too. And have a great night. Be safe. Be prepared. And Marf out. That was Wolf. What do you think of that? So basically, he had this experience, thought it was a dream, and from then on, he had something, basically a rare, one-of-a-kind bone anomaly in his arm. That's weird. Definitely weird. Do you have a similar experience? Do you have video that you want to show us? Remember, you can go to marfuglenews.com/playmyvideo. Again, you can find all of the videos here. I was playing on screen just to kind of give people something to look at. The video by Ari55, and this one, Dex, can we confirm Ari55 last time had Pink Floyd, but this time he's playing his own music, correct?
Playing his own music, and I'm hoping it's his own music that he's playing.
Oh, I know,
live and not someone else's.
It's crazy. You can get a copyright just for playing a jingle, unless it's like, Merry Christmas. It's crazy. So, well, we'll see. Okay, so this, and too bad we don't have. Ari should put what do you call it? Almost captions. So what Ari has is something that, there's a few people in our Foogle family, and I'm trying to remember the other names of channels. You guys probably know better than I, and you can put it in the chat right now. There are a few people that have channels in our Foogle family that have these amazing Nikon P1000 cameras. I think his is a P1000. But there's a whole category of cameras that have this incredible giant super zoom thing. It's not even It's not even a telephoto attachable lens. The camera is actually built and made to zoom in. Most people use it either for astrophotography, for getting shots of the moon, or they use it for birds and nature and wildlife. The people that use it for the sky get the craziest stuff. And we're talking about high definition or 4K video of crazy things. Ari55 has caught so many things coming into our atmosphere. Those aren't planes. And we know this from some of the other videos that he's got. You can see the full scale of it. You have all the context. You watch it, and it comes in, and it burns up, or it does these weird things. These things are going through our sky, and they are all different kinds of shapes. It looks like rockets sometimes. I mean, look at these things. If you guys haven't checked out RE55, he's over 5 or 6,000 now subscribers. Let me. I do kind of want to see what song he's playing here. I think it was still muted. Hold on here. I think I muted my own site. Oh. No way. Is that you playing, Ari? I don't believe you. Is that really you playing? Hold on. Dude, Ari is a badass, okay? You can watch this video and more over on Ari's channel, Ari-55. Let's click over on his channel here. I'm going to show you his channel. He's got great videos, but that video, man, the videos he gets are absolutely unbelievable. Look at this. Look at this. This goes and takes a sharp turn. Crazy stuff. And he gets so many crazy different objects. The Planet X System Blues is the video that we have shown here. And then he gets these nighttime objects. He gets all sorts of crazy things. Again, he is a Marfoogle family member, and he's just an awesome guy. He's over 5,000 now. Congratulations. Yay! I don't know why I said yay, but yay. I'm happy for you, RE55. You deserve it. You're always putting up new videos. You are putting just tons of effort into your channel, and you're a rock star. So let's see. Dex, on the website, it looks like we have both of those are on there. I think we're good. No, wait a second here. No, we have one more viewer submitted video, and it looks like Dub J 315. Here we go. Dub J 315. Does that have 3 jets? What in the world? That's got to be an asteroid then. No. I don't know. Multiple planes, multiple jets. It's got blinking lights. Spacecraft or space debris is what they say. It looks like it's burning up. It's burning up! No way! Oh, that is great. Wow. Okay, so first off, I thought that this was a just a regular plane. Watch as you soon see it burn up. This is exactly what I'm talking about, and this is why we started playing my video. You guys, this is happening every day now, and things are coming in, and they are saying that it's nothing. This is either something getting shot down from space or something that's, space debris, whatever it is. Look at that, the perfectly 2 space dots, and then it's catching fire and burning up. Tell me there is not something going on above our eyes, above our skies. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Incredible submission from Dub J. Looks like 315. You guys got to go check out this video. Absolutely outstanding way to end the show. Dex,
Adam, can you hear me?
Yes, this was a great show.
Yeah, it was. We also have a caller left. One more.
Do we? Beverly, first time caller. Thank you. Okay, I'm so glad that you caught me. All right, see strange light shaped like a ball. Beverly, you are live on Marfoogle News.
Hi, Adam.
Hi, Beverly. I'm glad I got you in. I did not, I guess we've never had 5 callers before. Sorry about that. Beverly, what is going on?
That's all right. Well, I agree with Wolf. It's a little weird to talk about something. I am a local teacher at a university here in Melbourne, Florida, and talking about this kind of stuff is something I just don't do. But I moved to Florida from Michigan in 2007, and I'd been here about 6 months, and I had my banker at my house, and we were sitting out by the pool under the lanai about 5 o'clock having a drink and a smoke. And all of a sudden, about 10 feet off the ground on the outside of the lanai, probably about 20, 25 feet out, there was this ball of light. It was round, it was white, and it looked like it had blue around the outside of it. And it sat there in the corner. And the weird thing is neither one of us said anything, like, hey, look at that ball of light. We just both were just like, until it was over, we didn't say anything. It sat in the corner on the outside of the lanai, and then it moved slowly. It moved slowly towards us on the outside, all the way over until it got right in front of us. We didn't say anything, and it just sat there. Probably 5 seconds. The whole thing was like 30 seconds. And then it started moving slowly back to the position that it was in. It never flickered. It never went left or right. It just like did this line. Got to back where it started, and it took off. We didn't say not a word. And then we looked at each other. We're like, whoa, what was that? And then I had an intercom system. We had a really nice house out by St. John's here, about 3 miles out in Melbourne from the ocean. And my intercom system came on in the house, and my 9-year-old son was sleeping in my bed. I had a little Papillon dog. Never heard this dog growl in its entire life. We're like, where's the music? What was that? So we go inside, and the music's playing on this intercom, like all over the house. Music's coming through, and we're like, what? And the little dog takes off running to my room. We follow it, and he jumps up on the bed, and it starts growling at my son under the covers asleep, just growling. And we were just freaked out. We're like, what just happened? We just had no idea what happened. She was really upset because it was so weird. And then she left. And really, I didn't really talk to her much after that. I just saw her at the bank. She wouldn't come over anymore. She's like, that was just too weird. I don't know what that was. And I went to sleep. I woke up the next day, and I was awake. I know I was awake. You know how you're not sure if you're dreaming or you're awake? I was awake. And I had one of those chairs that's kind of like a lounge next to my bed. And there's a skeleton on fire sitting in the thing. And I blink and I look at it, and it's still sitting there. And I just put the covers over my head. I'm like, oh my God, what was that? Covers down, and it's gone. And ever since then, I had a 13 to 15-year-old and a 9-year-old. Everyone was scared in the house. They didn't even know about that. They were scared to go. We had a 6-bedroom, so it was 4 bedrooms on one side and 2 on the other. Just going to that side of the house, you felt like someone was looking at you at all times. Going in the garage, in the bathroom, it just didn't matter. It was always this eerie feeling after that happened that someone was right there with you looking at you. You just wanted to look around and leave. I moved. I couldn't take it. I don't know what it was. I looked it up. I heard ball lightning, and I'm like, it moved too slow. It was too specific in its path to come over and sit there for 5 seconds and then move straight back over where it came from and then take off. I don't know what it was. I just know it wasn't normal and it wasn't right, and I never saw it again. But it wasn't the same in that house after that.
Yeah, so my mom, before she passed, when we were little, she had a house in Yakima, Washington. And what I want to say is that she had a very similar experience of a blue light she believes it was actually an angel or a spirit coming down to tell her to move out of that house. That house, my oldest sister, who's 10 years older, she remembers my crib would shake. The cupboards would open and close. The lights would go off and on. There was this weird like groaning sound that would come from the basement. There was nothing down there. The heater was on the main floor. Just weird stuff happened, and it was enough for my mom to immediately call a real estate agent and say, I'm moving out and I'm staying in a hotel until then. So she took us and my three sisters out of that house after the bluish whitish light came down, and basically she felt like that was a sign to get out. So I just think it's weird you said that's what kind of, after that it wasn't the same. In her case, it was like she saw that and she said, this is my key to get out. I'm getting out of here. It was everybody that I talked to, and I was a baby in a crib, but everybody, and that was around right after Mount St. Helens and all that stuff went down. I've heard so many stories about the blue light and the blue ball. That's weird. I don't think, ball lightning wouldn't sit around for 5 seconds. That's creepy.
Right.
But I almost think
strange.
that's not
I don't
UFO.
know.
That's like paranormal.
Well, my husband was murdered in 2005, and they were all three his kids. But it wasn't him, because it felt bad. Something didn't feel right about it.
That is creepy.
I don't know. Maybe he was trying to warn me to get out of there, like you're saying. But it's just I couldn't even believe it happened. I've never had anything happen like that ever since.
The Truth Is Out There says poltergeist. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like that was not a good house to live in. I'm glad you got out of there. It gives me the creeps just thinking about it. Well, thank you.
It was wild. It was, yeah.
I'm so glad I got your story in, because man, that's weird. I'm going to tell my sister about that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
thank you. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Absolutely. Is there one more thing you want to say before you go, or a shout out to anybody?
No, that's good.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you for sharing your story. It was great. Have a good night. Be safe.
Thank you.
And God bless you. Bye. Truth Is Out There. I think you're right. Poltergeist. That sounds something paranormal. And then that's crazy. She said her banking friend, she said she never came over again. Messy Me, Angel Devil RLR. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for being here. And then The Truth Is Out There, giving everybody, including Messy Me, Angel, subscriptions and Marfia badges given out all over the place. Thank you. Kelly2334, thank you so much for being here tonight. Texas Rob, thank you for being here. And Unicorn Forest is like going for a Marfia badge giveaway record, I think. Jeez, thank you, and thank you. That really does mean a lot. Thank you for giving out subs. Let's see here. Truth Is Out There. You guys are going back and forth, aren't you? Thank you. You guys are both giving out crazy subs, so thank you. Let's see here. Now it is officially the end, but first I just want to say a big, big thank you to everybody. Jay Daleks, everybody who did super chats, and appreciate you. Again, if you did do a super chat, it will end up down here on the blue line on the next show. Marvin Boggs, great show, guys. Keep spreading the news. Haunted Doll, so it's been 35 years since I played with Transformers. Not sure if the thingy in the sky looks like the Autobot or Decepticon logo, but one of them. Totally. I'll show you guys again. That actually does look like the Autobot, I think. I think it does look like the Autobot. And I closed it. Dang it. That's all right. It's on our website if you want to go compare. All right, and let's see here. Ari55 says, thanks, Adam and Dex and the mods. Always enjoy. God bless Fugel fam. Ari, thank you. You don't have to do that at all. But thank you so much for the support, and awesome to see that you are still creating awesome stuff. Always great videos, and you are a badass at the guitar. Haunted Doll, I think it looks like Optimus Prime's head. That's awesome. Multiple people said it looks like Optimus Prime. Well, hopefully we don't get robots in disguise kicking our butts. Or at least let's hope for the Autobots. Mr. Cornholio says Marfoogle is number 1 with a Ninja Genie. Thank you. That is a huge compliment. Thank you. I don't think we deserve number 1, but thank you. Great show tonight. Thanks for all you do. The truth is out there. Thank you. Thank you guys for all of your financial support as well. We are building something that we did not think we were going to be doing such a big thing. I guess we take a lot of things for granted. Discord is an amazing service when it's free. But when you have to pay to make one, not so much. So thank you guys, all of you guys who support our cause, and thank you for supporting us in every way. If you do want to support us in any way, make sure to go check out our different affiliates, including the eDeck bags. You can go off-grid. You don't have to be tracked or traced. Almost guaranteed your phone has a new update that can trace you. So if you don't want to be traced for any reason, you have the right to, and you can put your phone or device, your laptop, into these bags, and it will be sealing it. Marfooglnews.com/eDeck. Again, it's a great gift idea for Christmas. Anybody who does not want to be tracked or traced. On top of that, you can go to our website tonight. Remember, all you have to do is type in marfooglenews.com. And you will see that we have every episode, including tonight. You can go back on any of the callers, and you can actually find all of our affiliates on the right side as well. If you guys can, please remember to try to use our PayPal, or not PayPal, our Amazon link. If you guys are already shopping with it, it would be amazing if you guys use that link. We barely get anybody clicking on it, probably because we don't really advertise it. But if you're doing it, that's the cool thing. You guys are already using Amazon if you're already using it. Again, I'm not encouraging you to use Amazon if you don't use Amazon, because they're a giant. But if you are, might as well kill two birds with one stone. It does not cost you anything extra, but it helps us to go through that link. Again, just by clicking on this little box on any of the website's thing, it will go to our link and it will help us. And of course, we can get a small commission on what you are already paying for, and it doesn't cost you anything. So thank you. And again, PayPal, if you do want to do that as well, you can do so, and it takes the least amount out of it. So Dex and I can get the majority of it. So thank you. All right, you guys, have a great night. Be safe, be prepared, and Dex, much love, brother.
Much love, brother.
It is now time for a shoutro. It's not an outro. It's not a shout out. It is a shoutro. The button didn't work.
Believe in yourself before anyone else. Believe in yourself before anyone else. I found a way to go on down. I found all my friends and my friends now. Gotta bring it on, gotta bring it on down, down. Mr. Cornholio 44 knows he's very welcome, he says. Ears of 7 ruby rose, low profile, knows everybody's yourself before anyone else. Fidencio Berrigan, he started out a man, but then he went and he got punched by Bob McBain. Shalom Akahem Hali Buzzcart. John McGralia Project Blue Beam Hurt. Got the deep fried and the Deadpool deep state of mind. Read the heavens and all the time. Ryan Alter and Mrs. Never Call Her. Mr. Tom and Mr. Bob Dobbs. Never Gus, never gonna guess or crop duster. Never gonna be my Mr. Cypher 9. Get rid of politicians and log us down. Smartest thing said by Mr. G.G. Lark. Never going back on home, getting all in the parter. 'Cause I listen to my good friend Tony Starner. And you found someone was out there in my mind. Believe in yourself before anyone else. Believe in yourself before anyone else. With the Toot Loops and that Bob Dobbs going right back when all the cops outside the hole is so grand. Leslie Goth and Mr. Paz and everybody going right back. Marfoogle News, the only news that I use, I love you all. Jones in for Jonesy and low profile knows it all. Never care, Jordan Bear has so much more hair. Aravan and Mr. Man just followed and does what he can. Oh, it's alright going back and never porous unicorn forest. Believe in yourself before anyone else. 707 go to road all the way through. Trinity red or blue pill, hi ho, Kermit the Frog here. Before anyone else, believe in yourself before anyone else. Christina V, I think you will be everything that you say. When the Sarah Connor 39 goes by, and all the time raging for 20 and nearly 40. Gotta do what they say, gotta do what they mean. Believe in yourself before anyone else. Lori A, thank you for subscribing monthly over